pulse of the road and the future of life. From viral trends to policy shifts, we cut through the traffic to bring you the stories that drive us. Your fast-track guide to everything on the move starts right now. From the Billionaire News Channel studio to Mellow 947 BFM. Sitting in for Paulo de Rosario, I'm Gie Barroga, and this is Shift Happens. Every day, millions of Filipinos rely on our streets, sidewalks, bike lanes, and public transportation to get to work, school, and home. But as our cities continue to grow, so do the challenges of traffic, accessibility, safety, and sustainable mobility. Mobility is more than just getting from one place to another. It's about connecting people, improving communities, and building cities that work better for everyone. Today, technology and data are driving smarter solutions that are transforming the way we plan, manage, and improve our cities. But behind every innovation is a vision of making transportation more efficient, more accessible, and more sustainable for every Filipino. As our communities continue to evolve, so does the need for forward-thinking solutions that combine science, technology, and good governance to address the mobility challenges of today and tomorrow. Joining us is a transportation scientist, founder and CEO of SEERMO, a technology company developing smart, data-driven solutions for urban mobility, Dr. Syrus Borja Gomari. Hi, Dr. Syrus. Welcome to Shift Happens.
Good morning, no? Or good afternoon. Gie, thanks for having me in the show.
Yeah. First things first, what does a transport scientist do in particular?
Well, lahat nung anything that moves in our cities, that's what a transport scientist investigates. No? But it's more than just yung shallow level na nakita natin, may traffic dyan, okay, bakit hindi gumagalaw. It's really understanding ano ba yung root causes ng mga problem. Na ano ba yung mga different factors na nagli-lead into congestion, or kung bakit kaya tayo, kunwari, ayaw natin maglakad sa isang lugar. So yung mga factors na yun, that's what a transport scientist usually looks at. Pero yung sa amin, as we'll discuss right now, is deeper than yung yung mga modes of transport na meron tayo sa kalsada. It's really how does it affect our daily lives.
What was there a particular reason for you why you are pursuing this kind of profession?
Well, I'm a registered civil engineer. I started as a civil engineer when I graduated from my bachelor's. Pero nung time pa lang na yun, nung estudyante pa lang ako, iniisip ko kasi nun, what type of work can I do as an engineer that I could contribute the most into society, right? Of course, financial is a concern, di ba? Billionaire channel to. It's a main concern na yung financial aspect of it it was an important factor for me even from the get-go. Pero more importantly, thinking as career-wise, napunta ako sa ganun kasi feel ko yung ugali ko din mas fit siya into not just transport systems or engineering, pero pati urban planning as a whole kasi it deals with a lot of human interactions, dealing with different types of communities. I don't know. I think at that time when I was thinking about problems I wanted to solve, yun yung parang pinakapasok sa skill set na meron ako at the time.
Yeah, but before that, before pursuing this profession, you were in Germany. And ano yung ginawa mo doon? You studied there, you worked there, and ano yung ginawa mo doon that you actually apply right now with the work that you do?
So yung after ko gumraduate, after I took the board exam noong 2014, umalis ako. I went to Germany, not because ayoko sa Pilipinas. It was mostly, meron kasi akong mga type of skill sets na hinahanap na at the time, or even until then, wala tayong mga programs where you can be good in those aspects. So, nung nasa Germany ako, I did my master's and PhD and I worked part-time. I also worked for time with the European Commission, yung mga projects sila on mobility, hanggang autonomous vehicles, we were working on it. Right now, di ba, sikat ang electric vehicles sa Pilipinas. Pero we were already studying that 2016 pa lang. So the good thing is when I was in Germany, the things I was working on were like minsan parang sci-fi na yung sci-fi
Ibang
na yung,
level.
sobrang ibang level na siya na medyo out of touch na siya in a way, and especially for a young professional. I mean, I was working on such things. I was 23, right? And knowing coming from the Philippines, alam ko sobrang daming problema pa na, if we solve those issues in the Philippines, yung impact niya mas malaki. But of course, I'm will always be grateful for the opportunity I had to go to Germany, work with the different professionals in so many different companies across Europe. Na it allowed me to build a skill set na ngayon ginagamit ko siya sa Pilipinas. Pero lahat naman yun, everything I learned in the context of Germany, dinala ko sa Pilipinas yung skill set. No? Not necessarily, kasi hindi naman na, hindi totoo na, okay, the things na ginawa sa Germany, ginawa sa Singapore, pag sinalpak natin dito, gagana ka agad. It's not like that. Sobrang iba yung context natin eh. Some people or even planners would think na just because they know the technical stuff, kaya na nila gawin. Pero in reality, napaka-technical mo, naintindihan mo yung all of the sciences, pero di mo naman ma-explain kay Mayor na ano ba talaga yung kayang implement. Di ba?
Iba-iba yung needs per...
Iba-iba. Sobrang iba. I think not just from a professional aspect, when I was in Germany, I also developed that skill set to always try to translate ano ba use nito, right? Ano ba, what are we doing for the communities we're serving?
Yeah, in one of your social media posts, you said that transportation impact your social life.
Yeah.
What's the reason behind that?
Okay. I think naalala ko tong isang. So, sige, ang i-relate ko, specifically yung culture when people go to bars, for example, at night. The fact na, kunwari, majority of people who go out social drinking, minsan nagdadala pa ng kotse. It's like, that's reckless, right? Ang problem kasi sa reckless driving, buti sana kung sarili mo lang pinapahamak mo eh. Pero yung tumatawid lang sa kalsada, mababangga ng mga drunk drivers, that's not right, right? Hindi tama yun. So itong mga small examples na to, every decision na ginagawa natin bawat araw, like kunwari pumunta ako dito sa office nyo or sa studio nyo, pumunta ako sa Pasig City Hall kanina, pumunta ako sa bangko kanina. All of these decisions, they always start with, how do I get to this place? Right? So if you think about it, lahat ng social movement natin, kahit saan tayo pumunta, it all starts with mobility. And if we don't get that right, there's this big chunk of our daily lives, maybe 10 to 20%, or minsan kung Christmas season, minsan nagiging 40% ng araw mo, nasa traffic ka lang. That's not just yung oras mo as an individual, pero pag pinagsama-sama mo yun, sobrang sama ng epekto nun sa economy natin.
Yeah. You've mentioned about the time being spent on traffic. In one of your posts also, you said that there are 3 simple solutions to traffic. One is public transportation, bike infrastructure, and pedestrian infrastructure.
Yeah.
We seem to have all these, pero what is missing? Bakit ang traffic pa rin sa Pilipinas?
Yeah, great question, G, kasi lagi kong gusto sabihin na it's a bit funny in a way na ang sinasabi ko meron tayo sa Pilipinas or Metro Manila for instance kasi dito pinaka-chaotic. Ang meron lang tayo sa ngayon is public transport.
But is it efficient?
No, it's not a public transport system. Right? Whenever we talk about mobility and transportation, it should be a system. All of ang walkability connected yan sa public transport. Ang pagbabike connected sa public transport yan, connected yan sa bike parking. All of these things should be within a system. Pero kung it's just may sasakyan ka lang, that's not a system. Ang ginawa kasi with private cars, di ba, ganun, parang na somewhat democratize yung yung movement mo, but not really because you're all just stuck in traffic, right? Pero yung tatlong simple solutions na sabi ko, ano yan, it's very overarching siya. It's simple to mention na ito lang, kung itong tatlo lang i-focus natin, will solve a lot of things. Pero once you look deeper, paano ba siya nakaka-apekto sa drivers? Paano ba siya most importantly, nakaka-apekto sa commuters? Paano siya naapektuhan paano niya naapektuhan yung mga tindahan? Then suddenly, it's not so simple to address. Kaya every time we engage with our mayors, minsan with governors or the national government, ang lagi namin sinasabi, nung just last week, magkausap kami ni Sec Vince, it's really, we can always start with the push for walkability. That's the easiest thing. Kaya na natin gawin yan eh. In 1 year, 2 years, marami na tayong kayang baguhin. The others can follow. We do it while we're pushing for the walkability agenda. Pero let's do all of it na gumagalaw na siya. Hindi yung paisa-isa lang na consecutive.
Yeah. There is also what you call the ideal pyramid for mobility solutions, which yung walking is on top.
Yeah.
But before we continue the discussion, we'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll talk about the future of urban mobility, how technology is helping solve transportation challenges, and what it takes to build smarter, more accessible cities. Stay with us as we speak with Dr. Syrus Borja Gomari, founder and CEO of SEERMO. We'll be right back. You're tuned in to the Billionaire News Channel and Mellow 947 BFM.
Looking for the perfect escape? Discover Club Nalu, a serene beachfront retreat where stillness meets style. Nestled along the quiet shores of Bacnotan in La Union, Club Nalu is designed for slow mornings, ocean breezes, and moments that help you unwind. From cozy rooms and sun-drenched villas to relaxing spaces inspired by nature. Every corner invites you to pause, breathe, and recharge. Club Nalu, come as you are and leave feeling a little lighter. Book now at clubnalu.ph.
And we're back. This is Shift Happens on Mellow 947 BFM and BNC, the Billionaire News Channel. I'm Gie Barroga. We're still here with Dr. Syrus Borja Gomari, transportation scientist, founder and CEO of SEERMO, as we continue our discussion on smart urban mobility, the role of technology in transforming transportation, and the future of more accessible and sustainable cities. So, Dr. Syrus, let's talk about SEERMO. How did it all start? How the idea was born, and what are you currently doing?
The idea, I mean, as much as yung usual na narinig natin, uy, bigla na lang naisip ko, tapos ganyan. Medyo may pagkaganon yung how it all started. But it first yung trigger point nun was yung decision point whether I wanted to stay in Germany or hindi. Right?
This is the DOST Balik Scientist?
Yes.
Or, okay.
It started with that. So mga end of 2021 to. And I was playing around with a few tools. Tinitignan ko kung kaya ko ba siyang i-develop on my own. And then that was the starting point. Sabi ko, kaya ko na pala. Earlier, binanggit ko nga why I was in Germany trying to develop certain skill set. And then at that point, nung na-test ko sarili ko, na kaya ko pala siya gawin, I was like, sige nga, if we apply this in the context of the Philippines, how could it look like? And then from there on, nung iniisip ko, saan ba mas useful i-deploy, sa Germany ba o sa Pilipinas? It was quite obvious na kung sa Pilipinas namin siya i-deploy, it's much impactful. So yung decision-making point ko when I was building SEERMO at its early days, nung Mobility Vision Plus pa yung pangalan, it was trying to understand yung context and yung capability from a deployment standpoint. Kasi sa Germany, medyo sobrang grabe yung restrictions sa data privacy. Hindi ko naman sinasabi sa Pilipinas, wala, no? Pero yung simpleng, kunwari, magkakabit ka ng camera on the streets sa Pilipinas compared to Germany, grabe yung difference in restrictions. I was like, it just makes sense na itesting ko sa Pilipinas, at least kahit sa Pilipinas, napaka-complicated ng problem, even administratively or even politically. Kung magawa natin siya sa Pilipinas, kaya natin siya gawin sa lahat, right? Like, there's always this saying na if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Baka sa atin, if you can make it in Manila, you can make it anywhere, di ba?
Yeah, but what makes SEERMO apart from all the other transportation and mobility solutions na meron sa Pilipinas?
Yeah. So, sa SEERMO, we're proud to say na at least the way our approach is in how we tackle the mobility and urban planning problem is very unique globally, hindi lang sa Pilipinas. The biggest difference is whenever there's a certain technology out there, whether it's a mobile app or it's whether it's AI or whether it's some video analytics, all of these technologies, kami yung parang we utilize it in a way, or we even test it even before we deploy to a local government. Kami na yung parang taga-experiment, kami yung guinea pigs to see if it's useful for planning purposes. So in a way, that makes us so unique. Kasi ako bilang transport planning and urban planning expert, nata-translate ko kaagad into a product, into a technology. Usually kasi the other way around, you need a software developer, an IT person, and then they try to fit themselves in a certain domain. I think for certain problems, that works. Pero once you start talking about transport, traffic, mobility, urban planning, ang dami kasing, the complexity is kind of insane. Right? Ang daming connected sa every decision point you make. So if you don't get that right, it doesn't matter how much AI you have. Pero at the end, ikaw yung pilot eh. You have to be able to steer the way to the right direction kung paano nagde-decide yung system na to. And that's what makes SEERMO different. And pero when it gets to in terms of sino ba yung competition in this space, it's really consulting eh. We're upgrading how consultancy is done. Right? So hindi lang naman system to eh. Kasama pa rin yung nandiyan kami, sinusuportahan namin paano gawin itong plano, ano ba yung ordinansang kailangan para mapaganda yung sidewalks natin. So nandun naman kami, usually side by side with the LGU as partners.
Yeah. You've mentioned about LGUs, but na-curious lang ako with AI. How do you integrate the use of artificial intelligence with SEERMO? And right now kasi meron pa rin iba na hindi masyadong accepted yung AI, use of AI. But how do you integrate it sa SEERMO?
Yeah. So, sa SEERMO naman, even from day one, yung binabanggit ko, the things I was testing, technically they were AI. Like its first forms of AI, the ones na yung mga developers lang may alam, hindi alam na yung general public. It's really just how you use it. Right? One good thing with AI, this is just general, no, not just in transport. Yung knowledge is becoming more accessible to everyone. So in a way kami, parang nagiging middleman kami, but not really. We translate, as I said, yung useful in terms of AI in transport planning or urban planning. Kami na yung nagta-translate via our system na, okay, pag gumamit tayo ng some AI dito, mas mapapabilis yung pag-generate nyo ng report. Right? Pag gumamit kami internally, minsan kasi yung AI hindi lang ano yung diretsong, kaya ko na sa ChatGPT, may itatype na lang nung tao. Pero pwede rin internally kami, gumagamit kami ng AI para mapabilis yung process nung pag-develop namin nung system. Yun din siya eh. Some of those things hindi na alam ng LGU na ginagawa namin. Pero in those ways, AI helps a lot. Right? The things I wouldn't have even imagined 4 years or even 2 years ago na kaya namin gawin. So na-speed up yung process eh. Kasi ang ultimate goal namin, forget all of the AI stuff. Ang ultimate goal namin, how can we get the infrastructure, how can we get the policies on the ground? yun lang yung ultimate objective namin together with our LGU partners. How can we implement things para gumaan yung pakiramdam ng mga tao on our streets?
Okay, you've mentioned earlier about meeting LGUs. You mentioned about talking to SecDins of DPWH. How does the government help with you, SEERMO, and the general urban mobility that you plan with the Philippines?
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, kami, as a private entity, wala naman kaming implementing powers, di ba? So, at the end of the day, ang may final say and final execution orders is really the government, right? We're just here to really support them, be there at every step, and more importantly, to help them with justifying bakit pa kailangan i-widen yung sidewalk sa EDSA, bakit ba kailangan lagyan ng bike lane na sa may sidewalk sa may C5, ganyan, or bakit kailangan natin ng mas maraming EDSA bus carousel along our other corridors. Nandun kami to guide them through the process na using the SEERMO system, pakita natin, ito yung numero, ito yung evidence na bakit siya mas okay. Minsan, I think there are some extremes to the side na sasabihin, obvious naman yan eh. Pero once you get on the ground, there are many things that are not obvious. Kasi sobrang, when you talk about moving something on our streets or even in our communities, sobrang daming involved na tao eh. And as soon as, instead na, buti sana isang tao lang kausap natin eh. Pero yung tipong, as I remember Mayor Vico once mentioned, yung isang stretch na 50 meters sa Pasig. If you want to improve that 50-meter stretch, minsan 10 tao yung kausap mo.
But to kind of wrap it all up, now, Doc Syrus, if you would rate the mobility landscape in the Philippines right now, where is it right now in 1 to 10, 10 being the highest? Where is it right now, and what's the future? How does it look like for you?
Yeah. So yung transport natin or urban development natin in general is very, it's ever evolving, right? Even relative yan, it's relative to your development context. Of course, if you compare it to Germany, where we're very far, right? Or if you compare it to Singapore or other places na they've figured it out, we're very far. So if I would give a ranking, depends kung which parts of town. We're probably just 3 to 5, right? Even in BGC, let's say, even in BGC, you would think 10 siya. But if you really look at the specifics, kunwari on how it affects walkability, for example, yung the fact na pagtatawid ako, kailangan ko pa rin gumanyan-ganyan. That's not safe, right? Like, a 10 would be, pag naglalakad ako, kind of careless na ganyan. Because it's a completely safe system where it's properly designed for people to make the right choices. So every day, we're pushing forward with this, street by street. Di naman natin kaya gawin na in 6 months, tapos na to lahat eh. It will take time because it costs money.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
All right. He is Dr. Syrus Borja Gomari, transportation scientist, founder and CEO of SEERMO. And thank you so much for coming to the show. And that concludes our round of the stories driving the industry forward. I'm Gie Barroga. Join us again tomorrow on Shift Happens, your fast-track guide to everything on the move. Keep it here on the Billionaire News Channel and Mellow 947 BFM.